Okay, so today's video is going to be more of a rant, a little bit different than normal. And I just want to talk about how to race more with spending less money. So I know this sounds kind of clickbaity, but I've been doing racing here on the channel for 10 plus years. And I found every time I get in a situation where, I say, well, if only I got this or only I built that, I would race more. That's always been completely opposite for me. End up just racing less. And I just put it out there. For me, it's nothing relating to work life balance. My wife and I, we don't have kids. I have a job with a great work life balance. So none of those things that normally stop people from racing, where life gets in the way, that doesn't apply to me. So I kind of have a perspective onto this, on what you can do to race more by spending less money. So just to boil it all down to bottom line up front, what you can do is add as many constraints as possible, meaning, race your daily driver. I'm not saying any of these solutions are great or smart solutions because the older you get, you may not want to do these. But I found when I raced my daily driver, I was sure highly motivated to make sure it ran the next day so I could get to work. Uh, so you can kind of see how having constraints is actually a good thing. This all depends on your type of motivation and stuff like that. But uh, it sure does make sure that your car is up and running for racing. So, kind of an example with me, for instance, I would sure love to build a workshop in my backyard. But if I built that workshop, the Mustang, it's just gonna sit there. It can sit there. It's not in the way of anything. If it's broken, well, I'll just fix it later. Whatever. Um, currently, as it sits now, the Mustang is in my garage that my wife parks her Tesla. So if I need to work on the Mustang, I have to kick her out of the garage, and she's all upset. You know, we have to refinagle the charging cord outside and everything. Car's constantly rained on and dirty and covered in frogs and stuff because it's Florida. Um, so it's just nicer and less stressful when the Tesla is in the garage. So I'm highly motivated whenever the Mustang is up on my lift in my garage, which you haven't seen that video on how to put a lift in your average house garage. Be sure to check that out. Uh, I'm highly motivated to get that done. So every time I go, well, maybe I should go lay some concrete down, build a workshop, I go, is it really going to help more? Or am I just going to get lazy? Yes, it'd be nice to have a workshop that I could work in. You know, I could free up space in the garage, but I'm kind of worried that, I'll have less motivation to get projects done. And everyone I know in racing has succumbed to this. Very rarely do I know someone who's built a garage, and they end up coming out more, racing more, Depends on the type of person they are, obviously. So, you have to play that balance, right? Of racing your daily driver where you break it, may not make it to work, or, having a race car that, maybe double as a daily driver. So you are kind of motivated to get it back up and running and so forth. And there are other mitigating circumstances with the type of racing you're doing. With autocross, it doesn't really matter so much. Like I autocross my wife's car, which, I end up autocrossing that a lot because it's always ready to go. It doesn't need much. And then I'm always just putting it back to stock, making sure it's all good for her. It's all clean. So it kind of keeps me motivated and keeps the project moving. So I hope this random semblance of of uh, you know having constraints makes some sense to you. I see it all the time in business. Whenever a team or budget has unlimited time or money on a project, it never gets done. I'm a planner as a professional. I am Lean Six Sigma certified, so I go into a factory and tell them all the different ways they can save time and all that kind of jazz. You know, uh, when we do these events, we get the things done because we're constrained in the amount of time we have to do these things. Whereas, when I hear managers say, "Oh, we'll just get this done," right? It never gets done. So it really does apply to racing and getting your project car up and running. Anywho, I hope that helped you a little bit. Just some insight from someone that's been racing for a few years, or for a decade now, I guess. So just know, and when you're thinking about doing something expensive, and thinking that it'll make you race more, just take that into consideration. What kind of constraints you have in place that are possibly motivating you into getting that project done and out the door. You know, your ultimate goal here is to have fun and get out and racing. So definitely play that balance. And thanks for watching.